We can get, hey y'all, welcome. Yay, August 2025, Zoom at noon. Marsha's seeing some people. All right, we got a good crew here, don't we? Y'all must love decluttering. Is that what I'm hearing from y'all? Oh, yes, you do. You love it. Okay. Oh, Blair's here. Yay. All right, letting some more people get in the chat. Um, if y'all can y'all hear my dog? Okay, good. I love how this thing it does block background noise. Of course, I hear her. But we're gonna be okay. Okay. So Katie Rogers Feng Shui here to save the day. I just made that up right now. All right. I'm excited to see y'all. Man, it feels good to be get back to a Zoom at noon. Oh, I see a little baby puppy. How cute. Hey, Lisa. Okay, Elizabeth's here. Awesome. Welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome. I'm so glad to have y'all. Y'all are wanting some declutter for August, I think. So that is very exciting. Um, Let me see where we want to begin. Well, we all know we're going to light a candle. All right, y'all take a deep breath. We're going to keep this quick so we can cover a lot today. Just setting an intention for an amazing call where you get the information you're looking for today. That's whether you're here right now or if you're listening to the recording. I want you to just feel into when we're done with this call, you're like, wow, I'm inspired. I'm excited. I know what to do now. I have more clarity. Okay. Just feel what that feels like. Yeah, I'm getting the word energized, energy, right? So let's do that. Y'all ready? Um, y'all know I like to start with a little chit chat, I don't want to call it a lecture, but I guess that's kind of what it is, just to kind of get us actually just get some energy going. And then I do want to just have discussion today, like quite a bit. So I'd love to hear where you are in your declutter journeys, what you're wanting to do in this August or, in the next few weeks. Remember, we're in the year of the snake. Shedding, shedding, shedding. How's everybody doing with letting go? Give me a thumbs up, maybe in that or that. Oh, yeah. I see Chris. She's like, yes, letting go rocks. All right. So we're going to start there. We really can't let in the new without letting go. Okay. When a snake sheds its skin, it's actually saving its own life because the old skin has bacteria and it can make a snake sick. Okay, same with us. If we can't find a way, a process of letting go, whether that be our actual stuff in our house, whether it be some old mental habits, right? Some belief systems, maybe even relationships, ways of thinking, I want to say we're not going to be able to create the lives we want. Let that sink in. Okay. Because once that snake sheds its skin, it is so much healthier. It can slither faster. It's a new life for it. Okay. So just, I'm, I'm getting y'all warmed up, right? Um, so I said today's going to be kind of like a little launch. If you haven't ever done the declutter jamboree with me, it happens every January in preparation for the Lunar New Year. We rock it, don't we, y'all? Look, let me see the thumbs up. Man, oh man, oh man. I'm going to quote you, Marcia. Marcia was like, I look forward to January every year now because we have this wonderful community with the same intention to bring the new year in a beautiful way. And we do that with this ritual of letting go before the new year. Well, I was inspired to offer this a little mini version in August. Okay. So we're going to talk about what that looks like right now. I'll just do it real quick. If you want to receive the 27 emails, Now, remember, when you sign up for Declutter Jamboree once, you get it for a lifetime. That means this included, of course. So if you want the 27 emails in your inbox again, if that really inspires you and keeps you motivated because you have something every day coming to you, email me and say, Katie, hook me up. Okay. Just say, hook me up. All right. Like you want to receive it. If you've never taken the Declutter Jamboree and you want those 27 emails, go sign up for the class. You will get those 27 emails again in January. Okay. So, and in January we do a few Zooms. We make it a whole thing. Really, we're just going to bookend kind of. You can start these emails anytime in August. Um, just let me know. Give me like 24 to 48 hours to get back to you. Um, but if you're wanting to hop on, if you want to do this and get those emails, they are intended to inspire and educate. All right. So. Where do you want to begin? Because I said we're going to talk about declutter. I did have some people, yay, write me a couple emails, and I want to address their stuff first. I don't know if they're here or not, but I definitely want to like at least speak to them because good job. If you email me, you get first priority. If you have some things, I want you to write it down because I hope we can get to your questions too. But then I also did talk about wanting to address Feng Shui tips for anxiety, and I'm going to link that back to clutter as well, because I think that a lot of people experience anxiety, okay, myself included. Um, I think that we're living in times where we can learn to process anxiety in a different way. And I want to give y'all feng shui tips for that. So, how about this? Give me a thumbs up. You get to choose. I'm going to say thumbs up, start with clutter, or thumbs up, start with anxiety. Give me a thumbs up if you want to start with anxiety. I see one, two, three, four, five, six. Okay, seven. Okay, I think we already got the vote. Yay! I'm excited. All right. And then we'll move into it's all linked, y'all. It's really the same conversation in a lot of ways. Um, so I do want to bring your attention to, I think I've spoken about it, maybe written about it, but this book, Beyond Anxiety by Martha Beck, it's brand new on the market. It's one of the best. Uh, Holy cow, she explains the human mind. And basically, our anxiety self is left brain, like analytical, and it's just going on overdrive, is what's happening when we experience anxiety. I am boiling this down to the most basic. Please read the book. So, her whole thing is like if you can get in your right brain more often, it's going to quell that anxious left brain stuff. We live in a left brain world. It's designed for left brain. It's very analytical, rational, creativity, okay, presence, meditation, spirituality, basically getting your focus on, I'm just going to keep saying that word creativity. I really even I even wrote down, like, man, maybe with the anxiety talk, we also talk about the creativity gua. There's a whole gua for creativity and play, y'all. So we'll see if that comes up because I definitely want to have Q&A time, and y'all know I can keep talking. So check this book out. Um, that's my kind of one of my more, I'm going to teach y'all the feng shui, but I have got to give y'all the other tools too that can go hand in hand with the feng shui, right? So let's start with the command position. Um, why is the command position important? What is it? The front door of your home is one of the most important aspects of your home, okay? Your bed, your stove, and then those are the three biggies. Okay, that's what we call them in Windhorse School of Feng Shui. Everybody here that's done it knows that. But then we kind of have a like bonus fourth, and that's your desk. Okay, especially if you have a desk at home that's your home office, um, or if we're talking about a desk in an office. Okay, so command position is when you are doing something important, basically, which could be feeding yourself. That's cooking. Okay. So when you're cooking, when you're at your desk, that's working. Okay. That's also related to money because that's how, that's your bread and butter. A lot of people's time at their desk is their bread and butter, right? And then sleep. Sleep is one of the most important aspects of health in Feng Shui, if not, if it's the most important aspect of health in Feng Shui. So in these situations, we want a view of the door of the room. Okay. Now there's other little aspects to the command position. You don't want to be in the line of chi, they call it, where it's like, here's the door, and then your desk is right here, and it's like, boom, the energy's coming in the door and it hits you. Okay. So you want there needs to be a little bit of flow. I've got to say, this teaching this, there's nuances. There's going to be times you cannot move your desk. Okay. It's nailed to a wall, right? So we have cures for those situations, especially the stove. A lot of them up against the wall. You can, your back is exposed. We have cures for all these situations, but I want y'all to understand, let's link it to anxiety. Okay. The way Sharon Stasny, my teacher, taught us, she's like, we still have a primitive mind, right? And Martha Beck kind of goes into this, where, if we were still cave people, we would not bring home the kill and to the cave and have the fire, the hearth in the middle of the cave and have our back exposed to the mouth of the cave while we cooked it. That's a saber-toothed tiger could come in and just grab us, right? We always are wanting to feel safe. Okay. Our brains are always wanting to make sure we are safe. When you are focused on your computer, when you're asleep, when you're focused on your cooking, there's like a little bit of a hyper focus, right? So if your back is exposed in those situations, you're not going to have your energy completely into what you're doing. Is all this making sense? Okay. Because there's this little part of our brains that's like, the saber-toothed tiger is going to come get you. You can't see who's coming. All right. Now, the easiest cure for when you're at your desk is to have some little mirror. If if you cannot move your desk so you can see the front door in a space where it makes sense, not the front door, the door to the room. You'll want to put some kind of mirror on your desk or make sure there's a reflective surface so you can at least see a flicker of movement behind you. Okay. I've got a wall behind me, so I feel safe. I've got a view of the door of the room right there. It's in my peripheral, but it's still a view of the door. Okay. Sleep too. So do y'all see how this links to anxiety? Whenever we do anything in Feng Shui, shift a desk, use a mirror, put the bed in a different position, it's not just when you're in that space that it's affecting you. This is the crazy thing about Feng Shui. It's like, it's representing that it does. I keep writing this. I'm like, I don't know if I like those words, but it's like control, feeling like you have control over your life, right? Like, oh, I've got some control in this space. Like, I see who's coming. But better said and more softly said, it's more like you feel like you have control of the creation of your life. Okay. That feeling is the opposite of anxiety to me. Does that make sense? Anxiety is akin to worry. Okay. It's just a constant tape of worry, worry, worry. It's thinking, it's a tape of negative thinking. Please give yourself if you're feeling anxious, listen to it. Find out what it's saying to you so that you can tell it you're okay. So there's a gazillion tools for this. Martha Beck has them in her book if you want more tools on that aspect of it. But for a space, check your command positions to help with anxiety. Now, There are so many ways, so many different aspects of our emotional life can be represented in a home. You could have artwork that's producing anxiety. You can have something from your first marriage that was not a good marriage in your space that could be like reinforcing those worrisome thoughts. This is where declutter comes in. Okay. All right. Let's take a breather. Hi, what's up? Any questions so far? Y'all got anything? Y'all want me to keep going and we're gonna start doing Q&A in a minute? Y'all good? All right. I wrote down beyond anxiety, creativity, command position, decluttering, and then I did write down the emotional guidance scale. So if you don't know what that is an Abraham Hicks beautiful gift from them. If you do not own the book, I'm going to write it in the chat. Ask and it is given by Abraham Hicks. It's the best book I have found on, I'm about to say managing emotions, but I don't even like that word managing in this scenario, but that's a language we've all come to understand. Moving through emotions is better so that your vibration can be higher, so that you can be in joy and happiness and satisfaction more of the time. Moving through emotions. You cannot manage your emotions. You can move through them. You can process them. Then you can be gentle with them. Okay. So we have some language in our world that's very common that is telling of how we view emotions, right? Let's manage them. No, we want to move through them. Isn't that sweeter? Isn't that better? Oh, guess what? I'm about to say something new. I love when that happens. We're not going to manage our clutter. We're going to move through it. Oh, do y'all love that? I'm looking at some of my old timers here and they're like, yeah, that's what we do. How much gentler is that? We're going to move through our, I don't even know if I want to call it clutter right now. I'm getting really fine-tuned here with this group. We're going to move through our belongings and see what stays. We're going to move through our belongings and see what stays. So in a couple, that feels easier. Yes, ma'am, Elizabeth. That's what we want. We want it to feel easier. And the way we view it, which is reflected in our language, can help us with that. We want fun and easy, even with tidying, even with moving through our belongings. Okay, great. Thank y'all. Y'all inspired that. So let's start with Christina. Is she here? I saw her. She went away. I saw her. Okay, let's see if she might have fallen off. She'll come back. I'm looking for her. Um, Christina wrote me and said clothing. Hey, you're here. So
Yeah, I just
happy.
got bumped off and my
Oh,
internet, whatever,
well, we're here. You're back. That was like a flash.
right in that moment.
Yes, it was. I know it was funny, right? But now here you are. That was so easy and fun. All right. So Christina wrote me and said that she has a hard time with clothing. And you wrote specifically a hard time deciding what to get rid of, and that your partner is your feng shui nemesis. And when you organize, he unorganizes. We get to play, Christina. Thank you so much for I guess with Abraham calls it being in the hot seat. So you're in the hot seat right now. So which one do we want to start with? Well, Marie Kondo starts with clothing. So tell me what your experience has been so far and a little bit more specifics with clothing. Let's start there.
Okay. So I'm also a designer and a stylist. So I love, and I sew. So I love fabric and I love pattern and materials um and then also growing up, I didn't get to have much. And so it's this combo I think of like, ooh, that's beautiful. I
Mhm.
have to keep it even if I don't use it.
Mhm.
Or like, oh, look, that was on sale. That was a great deal. And so I'm kind of breaking free of that right now, of like not taking the bait on stuff like that.
Mhm.
Um, but then and then I live in a small space.
Mhm.
And so there's that too of, um, do I really, I maybe don't have that much, but I have a small space. So I want it to feel good. I don't want it to feel over cluttered here.
Yes. Okay. I
Does that
love
make
it.
sense? Yeah.
Yes. And that helps me a lot to know
Oh,
the
and
frame.
also I'm in the Midwest where it gets super cold and super hot,
Okay.
right? So you have
Yeah.
stuff for each
I'm going to write some of this down.
thing.
Fabrics, seasons. Okay. And then you're working on not bringing in more just because it's on sale, which is a very good practice. Basically, when you
Mhm.
see something on sale, y'all just say, would I pay full price for this? I mean, it kind of makes you know how much you want it. Okay. So I hear you with the love of fabrics and that you have a creative lifestyle that what I'm hearing is that you might want it someday for something, you might need it for, or you're like, ah. Okay. So what has your declutter process with clothes been so far? Have you done the Marie Kondo?
I did the Marie Kondo years ago, like when the book first came out.
Mhm.
And it's funny because I think I mentioned this in the clutter thing in the winter, but like there's a few pair of red shoes that I got rid of. Like red wasn't it that year. And ever since I've been like, why did I get rid of those red? And also like I just moved back to Minneapolis from New York, so I was wearing a lot of gray and different things. And now I'm not wearing gray. It just was this just different things conspiring, right? And
Mhm.
I just moved in with somebody and I was like, okay, let's get rid of stuff from a different time of life. And now I'm fine with that time of my life. And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
so I did that. I also have done with Kingston, what is her first name? I've done her closet thing. And then I did another one with Shira Gill, who's the
Okay.
minimalist.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I feel like that I like some of her concepts, but I don't need to be a minimalist exactly.
So let me ask you this. What's bothering you right now about it?
I think what happens is I get nervous before I'm about to do it. Like I think the thing of going about the shoes made me think not trust my own
Yeah.
decision making.
I had a client call it instead of buyer's remorse, declutter regret.
Hmm.
I was like, oh man, very interesting. Okay. But let me ask you this. My question, and let me rephrase it, is more of what is bothering, why do you want to declutter right now? Like you've done some decluttering. What is bothering you about your clothes right now? Like what's
For
motivating? What's
some, yeah, for some reason this year, like usually I'm pretty good at the switch out of winter to summer stuff.
Mhm.
And this year my closet is packed. Like I'm like, nope, I might want to wear that. I might want to wear that. I might, and so it's full in there.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
it's probably as big as this space here that I have to put hang up clothes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not very big.
Yeah.
And so maybe it's not a problem, but it just feels like there's a lot in there. And so I do have a process where I have bins in the basement where
Okay.
stuff goes, and so I can kind of rotate things out. I'm also thinking of relocating at some point, so it feels to me
Mm,
this connection of wanting to prepare for that. Does that make sense? Like, what's the vision of
yes.
where I want to go, and what are the
100%.
clothes I want to bring with me? That kind of
Okay, well, this
thought
is
process.
rich. We got a
Yeah.
lot to pal around with here. Is everybody's good? Everybody resonates with what she's saying? Okay, awesome. Okay, let's start with one definition. One of Karen Kingdom has four definitions of clutter, and one of them is too much and too small of a space. So you're right. If you're not going to your closet and you're feeling like you have to like tug things out, I mean, that is not a pleasant way to start the day. So everybody knows that in Marie Kondo's work, she does start with your clothes, right? There's several reasons she does that, whether she's aware of it or not. But clothes you have say over, right? They're personal, and it's the way you start every day, y'all, and a few times a day. I mean, I change clothes a few times a day, you know. So, and I will say this, Christina, with the whole seasonal thing, it really does sometimes depend on your space and, of course, what area of the country you're living in, right? So, and it can be tricky because decluttering, we have all these books about it, but then sometimes it's like, wait a minute, like this is all I have to work with. I've got to figure out a system for myself. So you are probably in that a little bit. However, I do feel like there's more to let go of. And let's talk about it because that declutter regret can be a real nuisance. So, um, I want to make sure because you said a lot of things about your process so far. I want to make sure that when you take everything out, you're actually because here's the deal, y'all, with the Marie Kondo stuff, it's not a thinking process. It is not. You have to learn to tune into yourself with every piece of clothing. And this is why I love it so much because it's really that right brain. It's really like, okay, I mean, Christina, if I asked you right now, okay, what's that one piece in your closet that sparks joy that you know is going to be the one you hang up and you're like, I want all my clothes to feel like that. Do you have
Hmm.
one?
Yeah. No, I have a few of those. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great. So do you have anything you want to add or ask?
It's just I'm not sure because I'll even try doing muscle testing with it. Like when I'm not trusting when I to get myself out of my brain thinking of it, I'll be just like, okay, just let's muscle test it. How does
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's just that gun shy from having gotten rid of, and yeah. And sometimes I'll even do where I'll put a bowl of salt in my closet for the week before I come to do it. To be like,
Mm-hmm.
let's clear the air, let's, get some clarity in there, whatever.
So then let's talk about the declutter regret because that sounds like so so y'all a lot of times when you do this process of moving through your belongings, right? That's what we're doing. You will find what I would call a point of resistance, right? Some people have it like they cannot get rid of the expensive stuff. They're like, it just costs so much money. How can I go donate this? Well, that's their point of resistance. Christina, your heart is a little sad because you feel like you gave away some things that might have sparked joy. So there's a lack of trust in yourself now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And for sure it was, the mindset I was in that moment was like, let's just move into this new phase of life and get rid of all this stuff.
Mhm.
Um, but I will say looking back, I can go, oh, I wasn't totally clear on what that, it was a new relationship, right? You know how like our brain is in a different place, and then you're like, oh,
Absolutely.
that's what this is going to be
So
later,
Karen Kingston has one paragraph on this in her book. And it was like my favorite paragraph when I read her book
Hmm.
because it was like, you get rid of something like you need it the next day. How can that be? Or you're like, oh, wait, I actually love those shoes. Our minds will play tricks on us when we are trying to move up to another level, y'all. Christina, I have had declutter regret. Let me tell you what it looked like. Me being 40 years old or something, 45 maybe, and thinking about a dress I totally forgot about when I was 20. And I got a little anxious. I'm like, wait, but that was cute. Y'all, this is our brains doing it's called the upper limit problem. Have you read The Big Leap?
Hmm.
So I don't know if you journal, maybe write a love letter to these shoes. But I can tell you what I have learned through years and years of doing this now. It's not about the shoes.
Exactly. Right.
Okay.
Right.
It's more about you almost saying, do not move up on this emotional guidance scale. Don't get too happy. Don't get too free. Don't let go of too much because that's going to make your energy a certain way. And we're more comfortable down here. And look what can happen. You could get rid of something you don't love. I mean, that you love. You could do that. Well, guess what? The world is not going to turn upside down if you I mean, I did write that red shoe thing. It's so funny we had the red shoe thing in common, Christina. So there
Yeah.
might be some writing or some making peace with your past, it's like some past self-forgiveness. This is representing something else for you.
Because really, I don't know if I'd wear those shoes right now,
Thank you.
you know.
Right. It's is everybody relating to this in some way? I think everybody it's so now that we've had this conversation, let me feel if there's been a shift or not for you. You're gonna have to be gentle with yourself with the closet and be very proud of yourself. And don't just take each piece and really like, I mean, Marie Kondo is like these things have an energy. They're kind of like have their own life. Like just be like, okay, thank you. Like I can feel you don't spark joy anymore, but it's not personal. To the item, it's not personal. It's more like this we're done. We get to part ways now, and you might go make somebody else happy. So that
hmm
can also help people a lot. Like knowing like have fun on your journey. You're gonna go find somebody else to make them happy. Like my energy's at a different place. You were perfect for that. And I don't know, like when I think of that red dress, there's no way in hell it was red. There's no way in hell I'd be wearing that thing. It was like I've had a fun night in it. I think that was it. And it was representing some youth thing. Who knows? So, but be very gentle with yourself, Christina, as you go through this, because especially since you have, and I'm going to say this to all of y'all, because all of y'all have been doing some decluttering for a while, and I do my clothes every year still. Um, it goes faster every year, thank goodness. But because you are sincere in where you're going, I can tell, like you do want to move on. You do want to get to this different vibration that you're like, it's like calling you. Um, just be easy on yourself in the process. I don't know how else to say it because I don't know. I always say this when people come to me or go or want to declutter or do feng shui, I'm like, man, you're doing the soul work. Like this not it's not it's not for the faint of heart. We're the brave ones in the world. We're facing ourselves. We're facing our fears. We're facing our doubts. We're facing our regrets. Does this help, Christina?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Because
okay to be
it's things
nervous going
we
into it. I'm sorry, go ahead.
know, right? Well, it's almost like it's things we know, but that's part of that anxiety piece too, is it just takes us off balance, right? And then you're like, wait, wait. But then just you saying is like, right, right. I know how to do this.
Just
You know.
yes, it's okay to be nervous going into this, y'all. I think it is interesting that I was like, I really kind of threw that in the email, and I'll give you feng shui anxiety tips. I mean, but it's linked. It's okay to experience anxiety. It's okay to be nervous. It's okay to be doing something that seems a little scary. So just keep checking in with yourself and giving yourself um basically letting your inner child know that she's safe and that you've got her you know, and
Mhm.
and then letting her know that actually this is going to be fun because now when you go to your closet, it's all going to be the stuff you absolutely love and it's like joy. So that's
Yeah.
kind of the other piece is, one of the titles of the emails last week or this week was focus on what you want, not what you don't want. So feel into what it feels like to go into your closet. And y'all, you can apply this to your whole house. I mean, Marie Kondo says this at the beginning. I mean, it's like her main wake up call was focus, like, what do you want it to feel like? What do you, how do you, I mean, you want to just be able to grab anything and you love it. And it's not hard to get out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And one thing you reminded me too of what I started doing before is also setting a timer because I can be so like, I'm going to do it. And then I spend hours, I just do it in one full sweep. And then I'm also like spinning and a bit of, and I'm like, set a timer. You don't have to finish it in one day.
No.
Right. And then because it's kind of like at the end of that, the decisions start getting looser, right? Or kind of
Um,
more
I
fuzzy.
do like when you take everything out though, because there is something to that fatigue. There's something to that fatigue. And you're like, oh my God, I have so much stuff. I cannot wait to get rid of more. Sometimes it can be that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but I also hear what you're saying. Wait, I lost the train of thought.
I was talking about timer, like my fatigue from.
Yeah. With clients, I have never done a closet in less than 6 hours. That's 2 3 hour sessions. That was like the least. Now they had never really decluttered properly before, meaning Marie Kondo.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, but yes, it takes some time. But if y'all think of it as this is time for myself, this is time for me to tune into my joy. And also it goes back to that trust. One of the most cool things I've learned from working with people with their belongings over time is like, oh, whoa, this is empowering them in their decision making. Y'all, if you
Mm-hmm.
can make decisions about your clothes, you're going to know what big life decisions, what to eat every day. It's building that trust in yourself. It really, Christina, thank you so much for
Mm-hmm.
wanting to discuss this and, trusting us with this conversation because it does go back to that trust in ourselves. And y'all, that's what leads you on the best life ever. If you can trust yourself. Thank you, Lisa. I'm looking at she says, I love that tapping idea. Thanks for reminding me. Oh, okay. Ooh, Tina's talking about I have found the EFT tapping is super helpful before, during, and after declutter to get through the emotions. Awesome. Y'all can look that up or ask her more questions. Okay, I love it. I love it. Yeah, Joelle's like, what is it with the regret about red shoes? I think they represent fun, man, and the memories associated with the items. Yep. Okay, awesome. All right, let's take a deep breath. Do you feel good going forward with that aspect, Christina, right now? And I do want to talk about your partner. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was super. One thing I want to say though, I do get nervous taking it all. I mean, I know Marie Kondo's method is take it all. And I did that once where it was this horrendous, the first time I did it, this mound where you're just like, what the?
Oh, it's a mound. It's a mountain.
And I took a
A
picture of
mountain.
it because I was like, oh, I have to document this so I don't forget.
Yeah,
I don't have that mound anymore, but I think it made me like, do I want to take it all out? But you recommend take it all out. Look at all of
I
it at once.
recommend taking it all out.
Okay.
I mean, it's a mess.
Yeah.
Um, does anybody else have anything to say about that? I would like to, let's hear from, because we got some old timers here. We got some
Mhm.
jamboree. I don't know what to call y'all. Yes, Nelia.
I don't know. I do a little, I guess it's like a shortcut, but I take it by categories.
Yeah.
Like I pull all my pants out, or all my tops out, or all my sweaters out, and just do a category at a time.
Mhm.
For me, that's easier because, yeah, it would be too overwhelming to have all that stuff on my bed, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to go to bed that night.
That flickered through my mind, Christina. Um, yeah, you wouldn't be able to go to bed that night, so you'd have to put them somewhere else. Um, if you were going to do it in segments, Nelia's way is the way. You start with shirts. Sometimes it can be an issue if you're trying to figure out how to organize your things going back in, because sometimes when you take it all out, you're like, wait, this is going to be better right here. Why would I? And you might miss that if you don't take it all out. You know what I'm getting from y'all for y'all? Make a little peace with a little overwhelm. It's okay. Make a little peace with a little overwhelm. Whoa, what is it with this group with the trust yourself? This is major today. Interesting. But if you were going to do it in pieces, yes. And if you do, like, because you're going to do this over a few days, I mean, I can't leave a client's house and it's totally insane after 3 hours. So I'm like, I'm coming back tomorrow or I'm coming back Thursday, whatever it is. And we will just push it off to the side and be like, we're coming back. But see, I'm very frank with my clients and my feng shui students. I'm like, part of the reason people, I don't declutter with people anymore, but it was the accountability. It's like, it's on the schedule. You're going to be doing it. You're paying somebody, so it's going to get it done. So I'm wondering if some of y'all's block with the whole big pile is like, oh, damn, am I actually going to get to it or I'm going to live like this for a month? So check yourself. It's a okay. Let's talk about what you called your feng shui nemesis. So y'all, Christina was my first person to write me, so she's getting a lot. So she said she will organize something, her husband will go or unorganize it. So she calls them the feng shui nemesis. So we're not going to call them that anymore because that can create it. Okay. So we got to just start with a little law of attraction, fine tuning, right? I would call that just tuning. But I know how you feel, and I get this question a gazillion. Like, honestly, the first time I did the Decolor Jamboree, I'm like, this is amazing because it was mostly women and they were coming back. And I knew to tell them, just focus on what you have control over, just focus on what you have control over. And then their husbands, their kids they were liking this energy without knowing it. And they were starting to do their own stuff. So I really always go back to that. Like, I will catch myself if I'm starting to get frustrated with my 15-year-old daughter's mess. I'm like, and I mean, I'm talking frustrated. It's my job, right? Guess what? There's something that's a mess of mine that I haven't tended to in the next room over. Every time. Every time when you deal with your own stuff, guess what? It spills out into the space. So, Christina, just change your language around him. I know you're like, but Katie, no, really, he does. No, really, really, really. I really have seen this so many times. There might be some tweaks or something at some point, but focus on what you have control over for now, and let's just see what happens. Okay, you're going to feel so much better. We got to let the people we live with off the hook in a little way, and then it's like, well, I can do this much for me, and it's kind of fun to see what happens. It's actually so fun. Do you have any questions around it, Christina?
No, I mean I'm pretty used to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm definitely pretty good at going focus on me, but it is this thing
It's a
that
constant.
happens in the background. And like for sure he goes, wow, it feels so good in here, and he notices it, but it has not necessarily changed over the years. But and I know I have plenty to do on my end that it's so, that I
Okay.
can focus there,
Great.
right? Um,
Great. Is
yeah.
there a specific place? I do want to ask you that before we move on, that like, you really do it and then he messes it up.
So I do feng shui, and then he's an acupuncturist. And in our basement, so our clinic is downstairs,
Uh-huh.
and in the basement are the herbs. And he just won't put them into bins, right? But so it's like it's under us, right? This room, and sometimes mice come, like it's something where I'm like, can we please do this? And I've helped a little, and then I've stepped out and said, nope, you have to wanna
Mm-hmm.
do this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think partly because it's in the basement
Mm-hmm.
and in the foundation, there's a part of me that's like, how
Mm-hmm.
can I inspire this? Or, and then so I'll have times where I try to get involved, times where I try to just not focus on it and focus on me. So it's just been, I've tried different things.
So he's messing with the herbs. It feels like it's like a whole, almost a creative thing going on, but he just doesn't put it back. So like I would think of it as like painting. It's like you just don't put the paint
No, it's
back.
more like so it's where he stores them all. So they come in bulk and he
Oh,
needs to put them away.
oh,
And then like if patient so
got it.
he has a whole apothecary, and so if
Got
he's
it.
getting herbs for patients, sometimes he has to come down and get some. Um,
So the
but it
system,
never quite gets, yeah,
it's
it's
not an
not,
easy system to put the bulk into the containers.
yeah.
Hmm.
Or to me, I feel like it is pretty easy. He just doesn't do it. I'm
Yeah.
like, get some, he got the bin, so he finally got the bins, but he just won't put the stuff in them. It's just it's a weird, it's a
He might have to pay you to do it.
yes, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, a lot of times, and this will go back to the clothes a little bit too, y'all. And I do want to address kids a little bit since I'm kind of calling it a back to school thing. Um, Christina, I don't think I'm getting too off topic. So if I need to come back, I will. But I mean, the first time I decluttered, well, no, it wasn't the first time I decluttered with kids, but it was a 16-year-old girl. And I mean, y'all, you could not walk through her room. And she had so many clothes. And their dad would get mad at her all the time. And then I finally went down after the first day with her and go, nobody could clean this room up because she doesn't have a system. She doesn't have drawers. She didn't have drawers, or like they were way too small. And it's like, well, she doesn't have the right hangers. It's all clunky. I'm like, you can't expect people to work with a system that's not working. So in September, we will talk about organizing, for the next Zoom at noon. So if y'all have things coming up, then, it really does depend on the house and the space, of course. But just check your systems when you have a problem space. And you might have to get creative, you know. And it doesn't have to be some fine-tuned thing. I mean, like one of my bookkeeper friends, she's like, "Are you still putting your receipts in those like, you know, bags?" I am, because if I have to go every time I come in the house and put the receipt in the right envelope, they will get lost. So it's almost like Christina's like, is there a big bin they can just put it in until you can put it in the smaller bins? I don't know. You see what I mean? Our brains are all so different, y'all. Our personalities are all so different. I mean, this bag is not overflowing. It's a nice, neat little pretty bag that they're just all piled in. But then a few times a year, I'm like, all right, let me go put them in the envelopes. Do you see what I mean? So systems and organization can be a point of resistance. So, but he's going to be your feng shui partner now. He's your feng shui partner. He's teaching you a lot. We can. Okay, yay, that was fun. All right, who else has something?
Thank you.
You're so welcome. That was good. We got to chew on a lot there. I feel like it covered a lot. Um, what are y'all put in the chat? What is everybody does everybody have a space or something they want to move through? Y'all notice I'm catching my language. What would you like to move through in August? It can even just be your wallet. I just thought of one. I have a kitchen drawer that I don't like the organization of. It's just okay. I'm gonna tidy it. A sewing machine. I don't know how to say that word, that's in our office. Tina already said office and digital. So y'all get on Facebook and post your pictures. This is You sharing is going to hold yourself. If you're like, I'm scared to share, I'm shy, y'all, this is a safe place. Everybody's going to cheer you on, trust me. But also, it's you holding yourself accountable. Okay. And it's also you connecting with others, and we can like drum up a little energy over there. Okay. My first area is the empty jar collection. Yay. And Wendy, you've got basement and paperwork. Congratulations. Those are awesome ones. Holy, well, I'm going to getting rid of stuff my 80 year at your 89-year-old mom's home, different generations of stuff in there. Chris, you're going to be finding some sentimental items. Yeah, you're going to be finding some sentimental items. We know that that can be tricky. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. Nelia is the same group as the Declutter Jamboree group. We're just going to keep that same because since everybody's already done declutter there, it'll be such a mecca of people. We help each other, right? Give each other advice. Anne knows your machine. Has it been floating around your home looking for its place? That's right. Um, Chris, it's not crap. It's beautiful belongings that serve their purpose. Oh my gosh. I know how you feel. Tina, yes.
I know I keep harping on the digital stuff, but
Yeah.
I have spent the last week since I posted that, and I'm still only on B. I've sorted by sender. And what I'm finding is that I get hundreds of emails a day.
Mhm.
So I'm getting rid of a few thousand, and then I have 300 new ones that I have to deal with. And then there are some senders that you just can't deal with right now. Like, there's stuff you actually want to keep from them. You have to go through it.
Mhm.
So does anybody have any suggestions?
Does anybody have any suggestions for Tina? Because this is like what
Yeah,
the world is going crazy with this stuff.
yeah, it's been
They figured out how to get in our inboxes now. Do y'all have advice for her? Because her Yahoo is tapped out and she doesn't want to
tapped
pay
out.
rent.
Yeah, beyond.
I'm curious. Does nobody have any advice? Yes, Wendy. Thank you.
I mean, see what you think about this. Years ago, I transferred over to Gmail.
I have a Gmail.
My Yahoo is just what I use, like if I'm in a store and they want to send me coupon codes or things like that, right? And slowly but surely, because you're like, if I just make a new account, you're worried you're going to miss something important, right? But my Gmail has now gotten clogged up like yours. Um, but in Gmail they have something where there's an unsubscribe right at the top. It's almost like it's a service of theirs versus going all the way to the bottom to search for the little unsubscribe.
Yeah, I actually have 4 email accounts, which is part
Oh
of my
no.
problem. I have 2 Gmails, one personal, one for my business. I have a work email for my other job, and then this Yahoo account that I have had since 2003, and I rarely delete stuff. And even just like after I delete it, a whole bunch of things, then you have to empty your trash, and that takes forever because it's
Mhm.
like there's so much in there. I love that idea, and I will check my Gmail, but I don't want to move everything into my Gmail either. Like the
Mhm.
Yahoo's become that place where like most of my junk goes, though occasionally some other stuff is important in there. But yeah, it's craziness. There's just too much digital
Do
crap.
y'all want to, how about this, Tina? Because I'm apologizing. I don't have a great answer for you
I,
either.
yeah, it's telling
Why
me
don't we all just kind of, even if it's 5 minutes this whole month, look something up, or maybe here, no, we don't even have to do that. Let's set an intention that we get some information on how to deal with our digital clutter. Because now that we're all collectively doing this, like somebody we know who's really great at this is going to tell one of us something, just post it on Facebook, what you learn, and we can collectively see if we can come up with some solutions for this. Because y'all notice in my emails, I'm like, what's your declutter problem? Aha, I got you. We're not going to call them problems anymore, y'all. We're just going to call it contrast, like Abraham Hicks does. Like, oh, I don't like to see all these emails a day. All right. Well, guess what? I want a nice, clean, focus on what you want. How do you want to feel when you show up to your emails? I guess kind of this is how we can round this whole out. It's like your process is your process. I can give y'all advice, but it's going to be limited because I'm not in the space with you looking at your things and looking at your house. But you have that guidance. Start with, hey, I'm excited for the solutions here. I know there are some. Like, know that in your bones before you start. I don't even know solution's the right word. It's more like, I know how I want it to feel, and I want it to feel this way. And then you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, why didn't I think of this? And then you're gonna let us all know. Y'all like this game?
Yeah.
I'm excited. I am very excited, especially the digital stuff is so interesting.
It's horrible.
Um,
It's like digging yourself out of a sand pit. Like,
it can be, or it can be like you're flying over it and it's not
I would
touching you.
love that. That's how I would love to. I'm putting that, writing that down.
I see Joelle with her wind horse on. We're all wind horses here. We're gonna fly over this stuff, right? It ain't gonna touch us. So let me see if there's some final words. I did have Monica had written that she closet under her stairs is where she's going to tend to, and she called it ignored spaces. Listen, if you've got some spaces that are not in your immediate experience where you need to hold some stuff, that is okay. If you want to tend to those, great. But if you don't, if it's not in your immediate experience, it's not affecting you as much. And I'd rather have it, a little bit tucked away so you can operate smoothly in your home. Okay, remember, we'll talk about this in September, but remember the real estate, it's like we've got our priority areas, it's okay to have some stuff in little spaces, okay? But if it's time to deal with it, I cheer you on for that as well, okay? Dina's going to work on her bedroom and then her teenage daughter's room. Bedrooms are so powerful. When you deal with your bed, I mean, I swear it's like when I get my bedroom really dialed in, it's like I've had this major energy clearing. I wake up and it's almost like, whoa. And then Maria made a joke and she said she wants to declutter everything. That was cute. We've all felt that way sometimes. All right, so let's post away over on Facebook. Any other questions? We got a minute or two. Anybody else have anything real quick before we go? I know somebody does. Is that Mary chiming in? No? Okay. I thought you were maybe unmuting yourself. I appreciate y'all coming along for the ride. It's so exciting, right? I think it's the year of the snake's been interesting. Have y'all had to let go of some things? I have. We gotta let go of stuff, y'all. It's not always easy. Let yourself process. I've had to do a lot of processing this year. I've had definitely had some of those lower emotions, but moving through them. I feel great today, but I don't, there's just going to be days. Be easy on yourself. Everybody knows that, right? Does everybody need to write that down and put it somewhere? Be easy on yourself. It's key. Okay. Y'all are amazing. Thank y'all so much. I'll see y'all on Facebook. I'll be sending some other emails out. We are going to y'all, I'm doing something different with the Odyssey. There's going to be a wait list for the discovery calls so that you can get in sooner. Okay. Because if you're early bird, then I will start working with you in January when you're decluttering. So just a heads up on that. I'll be sending more out. Thank y'all. Have a good one. I will see y'all soon. Tell your friends, y'all. Get people on board, right? Let's do this. I'll see you later. Ciao.